Namaskar and welcome to NFL Masala. I'm your co-host Sanat.
And I am your other co-host, Rakshak. Buenasera. I am back from the US and welcome to Season 4, Episode 26 of NFL Masala, where we talk about all the latest happenings in the NFL with a little bit of spice.
Today we will be breaking down what happened in Week 13 and, oh my God, previewing Week 14. We are 3/4 of the way through.
Yep, we're almost there. We're almost at the finish line.
We're almost at the finish line.
Oh, speaking of which, I have breaking Damakidar news for you.
Alrighty.
According to Adam Schefter and other news, the Packers have activated standout wide receiver Jaden Reed off of IR ahead of Sunday's matchup with the Chicago Bears.
Let's go. And Roma Dunze will not be joining the Bears' humiliation in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm. And another thing is, and just more breaking news. First of all, do you want to know the reason why I have this background of my old school Texas Tech in there?
Mm-hmm.
So today in college football, we have the conference championships, and especially for teams in the top 10, whoever can win their division, their conference, they can earn a spot to play in the college football championship playoffs. Although I still feel like the rankings are rigged and all that stuff. But in this news, Texas Tech won its first Big 12 championship since 1954.
Mm-hmm.
And they did that by destroying number 11 BYU, Brigham Young University, 34-7. The defense.
Holy shit.
No, the defense, like how we talked about, like when you think of Texas Tech, what's the one thing that you could think of? Pure offense, like passing, air raid.
Exactly.
Apparently, ever since they got the new head coach Joey McGuire, he in this 2 to 3 years, he has transformed this program from going full air raid into a run and gun, more developed. He's in the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame for a reason. Won a couple of state championships, and he's taken this squad along with tons of NIL. And they have won, and they not only dominate, they're like the third best defense in the nation. And we got a guy, Jacob Rodriguez, Heisman Trophy on the Heisman Trophy watch list. Possibly the only defensive guy there, because residents like Ferdinand Mendoza and other players, like all quarterbacks. But Texas Tech, man, I don't care if we lose in the college football playoffs. We made it this far, so let me smoke on that victory cigar or this imaginary one. So I want to say cheers to that. And but back to other actual news. Adam Schefter 3 minutes ago. Bro, we might as well get our Damakidar news right now, just like this. Cardinals have placed wide receiver Greg Dortch on IR and have elevated wide receivers Trent Sherfield and Jalen Brooks for Sunday's game against the Rams.
Okay.
And last but not least on my side, I'll say this, and I'll end up my part, and then you can do your part. The Chargers are officially listing Justin Herbert, who underwent surgery on a broken bone on his left hand this week, as questionable for Monday night's game against Philadelphia.
Okay.
Because
a lot of news.
Because there's some, I would like to differentiate being like you want to tough it out to doing absolutely stupid to jeopardize your future.
Exactly.
And what was the news that you got today, my man?
So we have Cardinals QB Kyler Murray out for the entire season, the rest of the season. And I wonder why. Is it because of an injury? Mayhaps. But most probably, is it because he just sucks? ass at playing QB, and he's too busy playing Call of Duty to actually perform on the field.
I'm sorry, but but if we're gonna go off topic, I did not. This Black Ops 7 thing. I'm sorry. It looks so bad.
Yeah, they lost the plot after COD 3.
Modern Warfare 3, in my point of view, the old Modern Warfare 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's my take on it. But hey, you know
But
what? Don't shoot the
yeah,
messenger.
yeah, exactly. So Kyler Murray, don't shoot the messenger here. Just go back to playing Call of Duty, whatever you like to play. But yeah, I don't think he's going to be a Cardinal anytime soon, especially in the upcoming season. I think he's done. I don't know if he if he remains a starting quarterback for another team. Maybe he goes to the Steelers. We'll see. But that is the update for Kyler Murray. Also, Omarion Hampton is expected to return for the Chargers on Monday against their game against your Eagles.
Yep.
And so apparently Darius Slay was released, and then he was picked up on a waiver claim by the Buffalo Bills. However, Darius Slay said that he does not want to play with the Bills and instead wanted to play with the
My
Philadelphia
team.
Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
So now the situation is incredibly tenuous because Darius Slay's only options are to retire or play for the Bills. That is the only option that he has. So yeah, we'll see. If they continue to claim him, they have in a corresponding move, they have claimed um, the they have claimed Darnell Savage, who played most recently with the Commanders after starting at Jacksonville, who obviously was a Packer before. But yeah, so that's that. Now let's move on, shall we, to
Yep.
what happened in week 13.
Oh
One
boy.
second. 1 second.
Oh boy. I don't want to talk about week 13.
Hey,
I don't.
Detroit. Do you see what this is, Detroit? You see what this is right now? It's called your fucking destiny, assholes. Belt to ass. That's what we did to y'all. Shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down in your fucking pathetic ass Ford Field. Worthless pieces of shit sons of bitches. Worthless. That's what happened. And I know I'm saying this in Michigan. If anybody, I know a lot of my friends who are Detroit Lions fans. Please skip this part.
Like, fast forward.
Just fast forward this part. Don't listen to whatever I'm saying here. Please don't kill me when I come back to school for final exams. Oh my God. They kept saying that, oh yeah, just wait until Thanksgiving. Just wait until Thanksgiving. Well, guess what? Thanksgiving happened to be around Toyotathon, and Toyotathon is real. I will tell you how real. In in Jordan Love's career as a starter, so the past 2 seasons, sorry. Past 2 seasons, 3, whatever. In his career, week 11 or later, his win-loss record is 14-5. So 14 wins, 5 losses, week 11 or later. This is Toyotathon, by the way. This is the definition of Toyotathon. 67.2 completion percentage, 34 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Rakshak,
I'm
34-2, and a passer rating of 110.5. Do you know what those two metrics mean?
Tell me.
It is the best all time NFL history since week 11 or later
Beautiful.
as a starter for a quarterback. 34-2 touchdown to interception ratio and 110.5 passer rating. That is best all time. That is the definition of Toyotathon.
Damn,
Literally outside of Toyotathon, his touchdown interception ratio shrinks to 44-23. This is literally his time to lock in and deliver. And it's just, yeah. And to all the love haters out there, prepare to be annihilated, because in the next 3-4 games that we have, 3 of them are against rivals. 2 games against the Bears and a game against the Vikings. Sorry, I just have to pick up this phone call. 1 second.
No worries. We'll be right back. All good?
Yeah, it was just a spam call. But yeah, so Toyotathon love is real. To all the haters out there, go suck on y'all's dicks. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say about this game.
What about your defense, man?
They're good. They're great as usual. I don't really have to say much because the entire, nobody really questioned the Packers defense outside of like the Cowboys game. Everyone knew that the Packers defense was good. The only questions that we really had going into this game was how was our offense going to respond? And basically Jordan Love said, shut the fuck up, sit the fuck down. I'm the man. I'm going to fuck you in the ass repeatedly. That's what he did. 4 passing touchdowns.
Insert Uncle Roger. Sorry, children.
Yeah, no, this is we are way past that.
Can I say this? Like, watching this Packers offense, seeing schemes, it's like I'm seeing a different level of sport, because coming to my game, I know I'm back, but you're gonna get a freaking Ruckchuck rant. Be ready.
Please, take it away. Take it away. What happened with the Eagles?
This team, you had a 41. You had first game against the Cowboys. I think you recapped that one. You had a 21-0 lead, and then you gave it up to Prescott. I get it. And it was how do I say this? It's hard to win at the Jones 8. It's hard to win at AT&T Stadium. The Eagles and Cowboys. Eagles have never won since like last year, and Dak Prescott, he's good when he's at home. And of course, with the refs, getting all the ref ball and all that. A minute. But here's my take against the Bears, and this is me. Long story. During the Thanksgiving week, I was in Italy with the family. As you may have saw from the previous episode, but how can I put this? I was watching late night in Venice. I'm at my hotel room at 9:30 p.m. on Prime and watching how this fucking team. This team, I had notes for this. I put, we got out physical, we got out coached, and we got straight up dominated. How does Stephen A say it one time about the Knicks and all that stuff? We got hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and you know what? Just to add a little bit more context to it, I mean, hang on 1 second. I have the best clip for this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are you ready for this?
Go ahead.
You ready for this? After the stupid ad comes through. Oh no, whoops. I don't want I need to share my video so I can express the entire thing of what I'm about to say. Are you ready? I know I'm buying so much amount of time, but this is literally me.
I am having a very bad day. I am in no mood. This today is one of the worst days that I've had in a long time. I'm not in the mood to play with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You see all these bullet holes in me? You see my dead sitting in the middle of the
Pause.
That
Delete.
was you for a second. All right, bro. I didn't know you were in that dark of a place, buddy.
Oh no. Fuck, no, screw that. But let me say this. It was so bad, like I mean, I thought it was gonna be a very close game. Caleb Williams, if he's pressured, he plays like a headless chicken. I mean, 17 for 36, 154 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 2 sacks, but he didn't need to do that much. You know why? Because of that freaking run game. DeAndre Swift and Kyle Manungai, both with 120 plus rushing yards. We got bent over and we got fucked raw doggy style.
Mm-hmm.
It was DeAndre Swift, 18 rushes, 125 yards, 1 touchdown. Kyle Manungai, fuck you, rookie. 22 carries, 130 yards, 1 touchdown. Those two came to play and they ate. They did what they needed to do. The Eagles could not stop the run game. The Chicago Bears literally, you want to know the crazy thing about this stat? The Chicago Bears had ran for 281 yards of rushing.
Wow.
Eagles had only 87. Saquon Barkley, I'm sorry. It's not it. Why aren't you going with Tank Bigsby more? He didn't play a single snap this game.
Mm-hmm.
And the offense, and I mean, defense, the only good shining moment I had was Quinyon Mitchell because he was shutting one side. Cooper DeJean cannot play on the outside ever. He has to stick to the nickel corner. And Adoree Jackson, why was there no Jacorian Bennett? Why are you putting in Keely Ringo? And the front seven, we pride on our defensive line. Jalen Carter, I found out later, he underwent a procedure for his shoulders. He was playing with pain. No shit, Sherlock, you could have done that at the fucking beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
We got ran over. This and you know what's even more alarming? Yes, Nakobe Dean has some good pressures and a pass deflection and an interception, but you're not putting it. But Jahad Campbell had 0 snaps this game. That's unexcusable. I don't care if Nakobe Dean is back. I'm not even sure if you put him back for a contract for if you activate him for a 1-year deal because you drafted Jahad Campbell to put as a replacement for Nakobe Dean. And this team got ass raped. It was an ass rape of all proportions on a Black Friday game. We were black, so for Black Friday, we were wearing black because we were mourning our own pathetic excuse of a performance. You had Eagles fans, myself, booing the fuck out of this team. I don't blame them. You want to know what's even more shocking enough? Are you ready for this?
Go ahead.
Was so bad. We were yelling on Amazon Prime Fire Capitol. Richard Sherman was begging, do the Wingardium Leviosa, get Patullo out of there. It was so bad. During this week, you had Eagle fans going to New Jersey where Kevin Patullo lives and throw eggs at his house. It is so bad. that the fact that we had to put in a fucking Easter bunny in our locker room just for positive vibes? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, we're doing this shit now? Why am I thinking of 2023 all over again? Like,
Mhm.
this team puts me in so much pain. Yet I love this team. Why can you not play consistency? Why does Jalen Hurts every single fucking year has to have a new OC? It makes no goddamn sense. I am begging. I am pleading to God, who thou art in heaven. I am pleading to Bhagavan Ramchandraji. I am begging. I mean, I don't care if I have to switch religions. I really won't do that. I just want an offensive coordinator who can coach, who can develop a competent game plan in which you're not running fucking basic routes. You're going using a lot of good motion. You're running outside. You're going QB designed runs, empty sets, under center. You're not playing North Korea level football.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
I don't know. Like, hey, AJ Brown seeding 10 for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. I know he wants the ball so much, but then you have guys like Seth Joyner and that shitty place called 94 WIP. I don't even listen to that thing. And then you have Elliott Show Parks, who has a microphone stuck up his ass, criticizing everything about this stuff. It's like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
This team. Oh, now Saquon Barkley is saying the Eagles have been awful and sideline energy. When you're scoring and
You need your leaders to step up.
dude, I'm about to get a freaking aneurysm, man. Can you talk me off a ledge? Talk me off a ledge, please.
You have 2 Super Bowls in 6 years. You shall be fine.
You know what? I'm going to start my off-season checklist right now.
Mm-hmm.
A new offensive coordinator. Hear me out. If Nick
Or-
Sirianni's staying,
A new coaching staff.
I would still keep Vic Fangio.
Oh yeah. Besides Vic Fangio, a new coaching staff.
And if I had a head,
have Jalen Hurts throw the ball instead of relying on, actually make it a consistent game plan.
I no, and you know what? I want to take some of this time to brainstorm on how we, the true heirs of football, can discuss. Like how we say everything we say is right. Let's try and make this happen right now. I am not doing any fucking Christmas wish list right now. I want to get to action right now. So welcome to this segment of how to fix this fucking Eagles offense. Here's my take. Number 1, I would go with a more experienced offensive coordinator. Some people are going to hit me out. Here are some ideas I have. You bring in a guy like Frank Reich, who just got fired from Stanford. Frank Reich was the former offensive coordinator under Doug Peterson when he was with the Eagles. Or you bring in Doug Peterson as a consultant. Either of these two, good experience. And if they want to finish off their careers, perfectly fine by that. And if I wanted to take a little bit more step earlier, you should have brought Brian Dable or Mike McDaniel to come in. Brian Dable in. I know he's fired, but guess what? When Hurts was in Alabama, Brian Dable was his offensive coordinator. Brian Dable was a QB coach back then. And Hurts had some success under him. Why not you bring in both? Someone to help develop his game better. And Nick Sirianni should not be calling plays. Still, he should not be at all. And also, I have to put the blame on Jeff Stoutland because this offensive line is so bad. I mean, I don't know what the ranking in PFF is, but Tyler Steen and Landon Dickerson, 2 guards. We take pride in this offensive line in Stoutland University. They're bottom. They're at the bottom tier.
Mm-hmm.
It is so bad, and Cam Jurgens has been playing injured. Like, yes, people's like, oh, wait till they get healthy. You can't wait this much long. I know we're not going to go win a Super Bowl because it's hard to repeat. It's really hard to do so. But like my thing is, number one, if you go with someone like a Frank Reich or Doug Peterson as an offensive coordinator who doesn't need to do that much, I'm okay with it. What do you think?
I think it's a complicated question to answer because a lot of things have gone wrong so far. It is the offensive line that cannot create open holes for Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley also himself has regressed back to his previous levels, right? You also have inconsistent passing scheme and passing plays from Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has not played as well as he has played in the Super Bowls or in crunch times. He has not played that well. I don't care how big of a Jalen Hurts fan you are. You have to consider all of the factors involved.
You know what? I'll actually say it. I agree with you on this one. Jalen Hurts has not been looking this well. I feel that this season he's been off, and I also blame. And here's my offensive game plan. What I've heard: if you have a lead, they want the goal. This offensive scheme plan is to somehow protect the lead. Bro, this drives me crazy. You know what Herm Edwards said famously? You play to win the game. If you play to not lose, what do you end up doing?
Yeah, you end up losing.
So make it make sense. And you know what? Yeah, Hurts needs to be better. I agree with you 100%. I love Jalen Hurts. I will defend him to the day I die. But he needs to play better. Every single one has to play better.
Yeah. It can't just be, yes, the offensive coordinator is an issue, but look at Baker Mayfield. He has had a new offensive coordinator every year, and he's been able to play at a consistently good level. So if we're claiming that Jalen Hurts is a top 10 QB or top 5 QB in some instances, well, then he has to start playing like it. He has to be offensive coordinator agnostic.
I honestly think if that's the case, Jalen Hurts in this upcoming offseason, he better be his own offensive coordinator. Things that can actually work out. Hell, if he needs to bring AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Saquon Barkley over to his place and somewhere in Texas and near Houston to work things out and how to get this game going because of the offensive coordinator that they get, or if they still somehow manage to keep Kevin Patullo, I don't know what the hell I'm going to be doing that time. But God forbid, he better start running his own plays. Get those audibles. Start taking over if you need to. Like, that's what great teams do. That's how they separate from good to great. There's that. End of my Rucksack rant. Thank you for bearing with this. I love my Philadelphia Eagles, but the way that they're playing, disgraceful, abnormal. And this defense, I know Vic Fangio, knowing he's old school, he is going to get them reared up for sure. I have no problem with Vic Fangio, except for that outside CB2 and safety position. I swear to God, we should have gotten Justin Simmons earlier, but I think it's way too late. Andrew Makuba's out for the season, and he's been playing pretty well as a rookie. And I honestly think if the Eagles, this upcoming draft, maybe you look for another outside corner. Maybe you look for outside corner, or you go defensive line. Why not? And you also have to execute tight end because Dallas Goedert's coming up in a 1-year contract. Dallas Goedert, he's new. I think he may want more. Grant Calcaterra, some people call him Kent Blockatera because he's not a good pass blocking tight end. You need the Eagles. What they did not do this offseason, they did not address the tight end position, and that's what's really killing us. And you have to. And
this was a stacked tight end draft class too.
It was a stacked tight end. You missed out.
You could have picked up someone like Elijah Arroyo. Yeah,
I know Harold Fannin Jr. You know what's even more crazy? What in our coaching staff, the QB coach or Scott Leffler, He was the Bowling Green head coach, and guess who was under him? Harold Fannin Jr. Why didn't you draft him?
Yep.
Make this make sense. Moving on.
Alrighty. Well, since we didn't have a full crew last episode, we didn't really have Masala games of the week, so we're gonna skip now to the Punch Minute segment.
Let's go.
The best one
Ever.
of our show. Alrighty. Starting with the Kansas City Chiefs facing on the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
God.
Oh, God.
I hated this.
Chiefs.
I hated this.
You wanted a tie so that entire, both of those teams could be fired into the sun. I know that's what you wanted.
I
but
wanted everyone to lose that game.
Exactly. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Cowboys beat the Chiefs 31-28 in a pretty impressive win. Dak Prescott throwing for 320 yards and a couple of tutties. Pat Mahomes was pretty decent, but it just wasn't enough because the Kansas City defense has not been so hot lately. And, Kansas City running offense has not been that good. It's just been a pretty one-sided showing for the Chiefs. What they used to be good at last year, winning close games, is not the case this year. I think they're 0-7 in close games, if I'm not wrong.
Mhm.
And this one just proves it. 0-6, sorry. So now you have the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 6-6 with a 9% chance, 9 or like 10% chance of actually making the playoffs. Considering how stacked the AFC is right now,
Mhm.
we'll see. We'll see if they're able to get in. Next game. Oh my God! Another. This one was so infuriating because this was also Thanksgiving. This was Thanksgiving night. Bengals Ravens. Ravens, you lose by 18 points to the Cincinnati Bengals, whose defense is historically one of the worst defenses in NFL history, averaging more than 2 points per game given up.
Mhm.
One of the worst defenses in the past 5 years, one of the worst defenses in NFL history. And you barely managed to score 14 points against this team. Are you fucking kidding me? Joe Burrow, first game back after several
Welcome
weeks.
back, Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow was fantastic. But guess what? Guess what the issue was?
What?
How many times do you think Derrick Henry got the football? And I'll preface this by saying that the Bengals have the 30th worst rushing defense.
Mhm.
How many times did Derrick Henry get the football?
I want to say 10 times.
Yeah. 10. 10 for 60 and a touchdown.
That's not good.
Why are you not running the football more?
I have no idea, bro.
He should have gotten like 20 attempts here. Like,
I don't get this identity of the Ravens. Like, you are I mean, can I say this?
Go ahead.
The Ravens, I'm going to be very quick about this one. The Ravens, with the weapons that they have, they're a run-first team. Why are you giving less snaps and you're trying to do something? That's all.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
No, I look like this. This team has to. Lamar Jackson. First of all, Lamar Jackson has not been playing well. This is not his. This is probably his worst season so far in his career. Do you want to listen to how many turnovers there were?
Yep. I want to. Okay. No. Go ahead, because I have to say something about this.
Okay. Fumble, interception, turnover on downs, fumble. 6 turnovers. 6 turnovers. Do you know how many successes or how many drives the Bengals had? They had 12 drives and they scored 32 points on 12 drives. They had 6 field goals and only 2 touchdowns. 6 field goals.
And McPherson having himself a game.
Yeah, that's like his best game of his career so far.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
What are the 3 things that I emphasize on that can kill NFL drives?
Sacks, penalties, turnovers.
So, looking at the turnover battle, if the Ravens committed the turnover, if the Ravens had these amount of turnovers, do you think they would win the game?
No. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, like what the 6 turnover, like, so I'm including turnover on downs in the 6 turnovers. 6 turnovers, 3 sacks. 4 of those were fumbles. 4 of the turnovers were fumbles, mainly by Lamar Jackson. One of which was an interception. Like, what are we doing here? You know the rushing success for the Baltimore Ravens? It was 22 attempts for 132 and 2 touchdowns. That is almost operating at a 7-yard per carry clip.
Right.
So
Yeah,
why aren't you running the football more?
I don't. Todd Monken.
No, it's exactly 6. It's 6 yards per carry. It is exactly 6 yards per carry, and you are not running.
What the hell is Todd Monken smoking?
I don't know, dude.
And try not to. You can cut this part out. But Cash Patel, if you're looking for someone to target, look at Todd Monken and investigate him for drug use because
Exactly.
I don't know what the hell he was smoking that day.
Exactly.
Okay, what do you got next?
Alrighty. Next game before I have an aneurysm, and I'll run through this more quickly. 49ers beat the Cleveland Browns 26-8. Nothing much to see here. It's just that Myles Garrett is on 19 sacks now. He needs 3.5 to tie the record, 4 sacks to beat the record. Houston Texans beat the Colts 20-16 after holding Jonathan Taylor to less than 100 yards. So any team who's facing the Colts, just stop Jonathan Taylor and you'll win the game. Dolphins beat the Dolphins beat the Saints in a close game, 21-17. This is after the Dolphins had a pretty sizable lead, and then the Saints came back. Tyler Shuck looked good. So maybe the Saints have something. We'll see next year if Kellen Moore can create a more consistent offense and success. Next game, Jaguars solidified their hold in the AFC South, winning 25-3 against the Titans. Cam Ward, he needs a whole new team. he needs a whole.
And you know what? I'm just gonna pull out our favorite experiment. I'm gonna go open Tankathon right now. Let's take a look, shall we?
Go ahead.
I mean, if you got time, I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, so I'm sharing with my screen. Welcome to Tankathon, and they're battling for the glorious prize that is Tank Boom. Right now, they are the #1 team. Now, if you look at the mock draft, Ruben Bain Jr., we need to do our research. So this is what we are projected to see. Ruben Bain Jr., edge from Miami. They need help on everywhere. And I love this pickup for the Saints. Fernando Mendoza. He is the Heisman Trophy favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And that is all I am going to share. So maybe maybe you look at edge, maybe you look at an offensive line, because you also need to do that too.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that is it. Actually, there's two more games. You have the Buffalo Bills, who played the Steelers in some sort of a football game, apparently. Buffalo Bills won 26-7. Aaron Rodgers is cooked, and the Steelers got cooked by Cook for 144 yards. Cook had more yards than Josh Allen passing, who only had 123 yards, which just spells the doom for Steelers. There were fire Tomlin chants raining in Pittsburgh, and it looks like he needs to be fired. That entire regime needs to change. The only players who deserve to stay at in Pittsburgh are probably Pat Fryermuth, Jalen Warren, couple of the offensive players.
100%.
Darnell Washington, and that's about it.
I don't know what they were trying to do with
probably.
Darnell Washington, man. He's not a pass blocker. He is a good receiving tight end. It's like a Grant. It's like a Grant can't block a Terra.
Yeah.
And speaking of my guy Jacob Rodriguez, I was looking at the Tankathon thing. He's projected to go round 4 to the Bills outside of the Eagles. Dude, Jacob Rodriguez in that Bills defense would be so good.
Yeah, sir.
I'm gonna be happy for him wherever he goes. Just don't go to Dallas. That's all I ask.
Final game. You had the Chargers take on the Raiders. It wasn't much of a matchup. Chargers win 31-14, but it looks like Justin Herbert had to get some surgery on his left throwing hand. So we'll see the status of that injury. I think you had mentioned the status of that injury for the upcoming game versus the Eagles. So we'll see how that goes. That's it from the AFC side. What about from the NFC side?
Oh, from the NFC side, here is what we got. I think this is the upset of the year.
Yes.
Rams versus Panthers. Panthers!
Oh my God.
Keep pounding. Keep pounding.
What are the Panthers, dude? They lose to the Saints one week, then they beat one of these Super Bowl favorites in the Rams the next week. What the fuck?
The Panthers are the enigma. They are
the enigma.
Like,
continue talking.
I mean, I am just shocked by this. Bryce Young, 3 touchdowns, 2 on 4th downs to keep the offense rolling. The Rams, who were 10-point favorites, Matt Stafford turned over the ball multiple times, a red zone interception and a strip-seeing sack. But you know what? I'll say this. We got a Masala moment of the week. And you know what? I got a Masala moment of the week and your nominee, Anant. That is the Puka Nakua catch. Goes one-handed acrobatic, but it was way too late. Incredible. Next game, the New York Jets versus the Atlanta. This was a true tank ball, ladies and gentlemen. Jets win 24-27 on a 56-yard field goal by Nick Folk. Time expired. Falcons had a strong game for Bijan Robinson, 193 scrimmage yards, but Jets, late game heroics on the final drive. They were able to pull off the win. Next, the Minnesota Vikings versus at the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle's defense basically had the shutdown. We had a skunk out, bro. The Vikings got skunked 26-0. And before I continue on, Anna, tell us how you really feel about the Sea Chickens skunking out the Vikings 26-0. He brought out the belt. I mean, Max Brosmer First NFL start. 4 interceptions and an 85-yard pick six. And he just got released. Seahawks offense mainly relied on field goals, but Sam Darnold didn't even need to do that much.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona Cardinals versus Tampa Bay. Buccaneers, very close game. You barely won 20-17. They break a 3-game losing streak. Tampa Bay just barely managed. Patriots versus Giants. Patriots, first team to reach 11 wins this season. Congratulations. 33 with a 33-15 win over the Giants. Drake May, Mr. Consistent, 282 yards, 2 touchdowns. And of course, the controversial play, Jackson Dart flying after getting hit by Christian Ellis. Dude, that was a legal hit because he was still inbound. Only when it's out of bounds, it would have been a flag. And Denver Broncos versus the Washington Commanders. Sunday night, another an OT thriller. Broncos 27-26 overtime win. And they stopped a potential game-winning 2-point conversion. I like the gamble by Dan Quinn, but the play. Broncos defense, they just did great. I think that's pretty much it. Did I leave out anything?
No.
Any game at all? I think this was one of our fastest punch minute segments.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Alrighty,
NFL Masala.
a true punch minute. Exactly, a true punch minute. Alrighty, let's move on, shall we, to the Week 14 preview.
But before I do that, my Masala moment of the week has to be that Puka Nacua one-handed catch, because holy shit, that was amazing.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. Yeah, let's talk about these Bears.
Please kick their asses! And before we continue, can I say this? How about them Cowboys? Oh, you were talking all this good shit. You got your asses kicked raw dog style, bitch. You got a 6% chance of entering into the playoffs. You Dallas broke bitches. Dak Prescott, you're a fucking bum. Sit your bitch ass down. George Pickens, you got blasted by Richard Sherman, then you want to talk shit? Richard Sherman has something that you will never have because you're part of the worst team in American history, the same city in which JFK got shot and killed. George Pickens, you are a bum. Welcome, you Dallas. You wanted him. You got a bum in Pickens, you bitch. And Detroit, Sonic and Knuckles. That tag team is powerful. I loved it. Thank you very much for this. But back to you, and please kick the Bears' ass.
Yep.
Sorry about the crash out. I mean,
no. You had every right. Yeah. Message to the Bears. Jeff Hafley in a press conference recently told Micah Parsons about Micah Parsons feeling disrespected. I hope he goes into a really dark place on Sunday. Yeah, boy. Belt to ass loading of the Bears. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see Caleb Williams and his pretty ass nails dance and prance his way into a fucking cemetery, okay? I want that motherfucker annihilated and assassinated and humiliated on live television. And they've been performing drills for this. They've been having one of our players, they've been having Micah Parsons actually run around like Caleb Williams, because just to simulate his agility inside and outside of the pocket. So they have been preparing for this. Yes, it is the Packers versus Bears. So, we know each other, like the teams know each other um for a long time. It is the longest standing rivalry. But this is the first time where Ben Johnson is the head coach, who is so um not controversial, but like he's so outspoken already in his fervor to beat the Packers. And Matt LaFleur is like, okay, fine. You can say all the shit you want to say. We're just gonna do what we do and whoop y'all's ass. So when it comes to, how we should actually perform against Caleb Williams, it's gonna start with, in all seriousness, the Bears offense is actually pretty good this year, courtesy of Ben Johnson, and it starts with their running game. The duo of DeAndre Swift and Kyle Manungai, who has showed repeatedly week in week out that he's actually a really good RB, finding and exploding out of different holes that were made by the offensive line. He's also a pretty good power back as well in the red zone. So, kudos to the Bears. Their run game is actually pretty good. When you look at specific metrics, for example, I think they are one of the top 10 offenses in terms of like rushing EPA. One second while my screen. Unfortunately, I'm facing some screen issues at this point. One second. Yeah. So they're fourth in rushing EPA. And in terms of rushing success rate, they are third. So they're actually really good at running the football. And that starts with their offensive line. Got to give credit to the offensive line, the coaches, and Ben Johnson for creating enough holes for your running backs to explode through. Running backs have also been pretty good. And I think if that is how their offense relies, they don't really throw the ball deep. Caleb Williams has one of the lowest completion percentages on deep throws in the entire season, even though he attempts a lot down the field because he does scramble a lot. He tries to make plays down the field by escaping the pocket. But realistically, their offense starts with the run. And this is the one thing that I think the Packers will learn to key around. Yes, we did lose Devontae Wyatt. That is a significant loss for us in terms of our rushing defense capabilities, because he was one of our standout defensive players, right? So even though we are losing Devontae Wyatt and our defensive line is thin, we actually just picked up another defensive lineman from Seattle on waivers. So we'll see how good he performs on an immediate time pressure. But I think Jeff Hafley is going to create different plays where we can generate enough pressure from the inside. So I would expect a lot of stunts and a lot of different use cases for Micah Parsons, as we have been doing on the across the entire year, to really confuse with Caleb Williams and provide more support to the inside of our defensive line. Now, one of the benefits of our defense is that our linebackers are and almost playing at an all-pro, level. Quay Walker definitely is playing in a Pro Bowl, almost like second team All-Pro level. Edgerrin Cooper is just fantastic as well. So to have our linebacking duo run sideline to sideline in such a in such a explosive fashion, especially when it comes to run defense, that is definitely a boon. So when you try and go up the middle, you'll face a lot of you'll face our defensive line, and you'll face our excellent linebackers. And then when you try and go outside, you'll have to contend with Evan Williams, who's been one of the best run defense safeties in the entire league. He starts at an average. I saw this crazy stat. His run defense starts at an average of 16.5 yards down the field, and he like runs in and stuffs the running backs for like an average gain of like 2 or 3 yards. So it is insane. The amount of sorry, I just faced some technical issues with my camera, but it is insane the amount of success our defense has against the run from all different levels of our defense. It's not just our defensive line. It is our defensive line, it is our linebackers, and it is our safety core. So you try and run outside, we'll stop you. If you try and run inside, we'll stop you. Just look at what we did to Gibbs and Monty, Sonic and Knuckles. In both of the games combined, they had like less than 200 yards combined. So that is, something that the Bears have to keep in mind. And I think if it turns out to be a pass heavy game, I don't think the Bears have a shot. If they can rely on their run game to keep them in the game and make possessions longer, then I don't think they have a shot. Plus, they don't have Roma Dunze going into this game. So they're relying on DJ Moore and Scraps in the bucket and along with Luther Burden to be their passing offense. But it is a scenario where I think the Packers defense can definitely keep the Bears offense under wraps. Now, the question is going to be the Bears defense against the Packers offense. I think now the Packers are getting Jaden Reed back, which just means more, offensive explosive potential. Packers are one of the best teams in creating explosive plays. In fact, Jordan Love is the number one quarterback in terms of EPA per play. Number one quarterback in terms of EPA per play. Second closest is, funnily enough, Drake May. In terms of success rate, Jordan Love is right up there in the top 5. So, it's Jordan Love. He's going to carry this offense. I don't think our running game is also not as good as I expected it to be before. So, excuse me. But yeah, our running game does need help, and it starts with our offensive line. It has not been that good this year. It has not been consistent at all this year. And when you look at who our offensive line has consisted of, it's been a rotating cast. Like the only mainstays in our offense has been Zach Tom, maybe, but he's also dealing with injuries. So when you have this rotating cast, we don't really have a solid, 5 offensive linemen that we can use in their place that are really good in their places. It's going to be hard to consistently generate rushing space. And this is something that I've brought up in earlier episodes as well. I don't think this offensive coaching, specifically from the O-line and the run game coordinator and Adam Stanovich and Luke Butkus. I don't think they're cut for this job. I don't think they have not succeeded in the past 4 years to provide a good coached up offensive line in terms of the run game, and our running game has suffered because of that. So especially when it comes to the playoffs, we need to have a more balanced offense so that it doesn't have to just consistently be on Jordan Love. Obviously, great offense. Like, one of the main reasons why the Eagles even won Super Bowl last year is because of Saquon Barkley. Or not the Super Bowl, but they got to the Super Bowl because of Saquon Barkley. Yes, he was quiet for a large part of that game, in which your other facets of the game, including Jalen Hurts, took over. Your defense took over. It's one of the, in my opinion, it was the main reason why you guys won. But yeah, going back to the Packers this season, that rushing game, like, yes, Josh Jacobs is second in terms of touchdowns on the year, but in terms of rushing efficiency, we're only 16th in the league in terms of rushing EPA per play, which is not good. It's not good at all. And in terms of rushing success rate, only 7th. Like, the Bengals have a better rushing success rate. So I think this is definitely something that the Packers have to create an interesting scheme around, because it's difficult to consistently win week in, week out without a balanced offense, especially given the emphasis that Matt LaFleur puts on the run game. I think I saw this stat somewhere, in terms of like rushing versus what is it? Tendencies. Sorry. There we go. So, rush rate tendencies. The Packers are second with 44% of the time rushing versus passing. Seahawks are at 50-50, but it just helps that their defense is, on an insane tear at this point. So, yeah. But yeah, when it comes to when it comes to how successful our team has been in terms of the run game, most of the time it is mostly just like inside zone, mostly like within the tackles. In terms of the gaps that we've targeted, like 59% of the time we're running in between the offensive line, like between the guards and between the tackles, and mostly to the right. So it makes sense that we are, targeting the better part of our offensive line, but that kind of just restricts our our offensive potential from the running game. Now, Matt LaFleur has been doing a better job of targeting the outside of our offensive line, and when we do, we are actually successful. But just the consistency is what we're lacking in. So, to summarize what I think about this game, honestly, I'm not really worried about my defense. I'm not worried about the Packers defense. I think we've got a good handle on how to beat Caleb Williams.
Good.
And people will say, like, or Bears fans are saying, like, oh yeah, we'll figure out a way to shut down Micah Parsons. I'm like, really? The only team that has actually figured out a way to shut down Micah Parsons is the Cowboys, and that was like week 4. Micah Parsons has gotten into a rhythm on this defense. Our defense has learned to work with Micah Parsons in different ways, with Micah Parsons being held on every single play, with Micah Parsons being doubled and triple teamed on almost like a lot of plays. They're still getting success. So, sure, you could double team Micah Parsons all you want. Rashawn Gary is going to be on Caleb Williams' ass. And yes, we were missing LVN, but we're getting Carl Brooks back. We know how good he is. Kingsley Enagbare, we know how good he is. Baron Sorrell even made a couple of plays, and he was like our 5th-round pick. So I am excited to see the Packers defense smother the Bears. And I think that at the end of the day, I think the one thing that I do want to be careful of from an offensive perspective is that the Bears defense is number 1 in takeaways, 26 takeaways, and we are number 1 in fewest giveaways, only 7 giveaways on the entire season. Knock on wood. But 1 or 2 turnovers could change the entire complexion of the game. So I would just say keep the ball secured and don't take too many chances, because we can still beat this team without risking too many turnovers. So that's my one message to the Packers. Don't risk a lot to beat this team, because I think if we play our cards right, if we play the game that we intend to play, sticking with play action, enforcing the run, I think this is a gettable defense. We're not facing the Houston Texans defense where we have to actually maneuver ways to escape that Houston D line. When it comes to the Bears and their defensive success, they're not as good as us. I will say they're not as good as us. They are 21st in the league in rushing EPA per play and 28th in rushing success rate. So we can run on these guys. So I would just say stick with what has made the Packers offense successful. And I think we win 27-14. 27-17. But yeah, that's it for me.
No, I want a curb stomping. I want your Packers to kick their asses so hard.
We will. Those 17 points would be in garbage time. Don't worry.
Good. Because I want a domination. And you know what? Just to hate them even more, Chicago Bears, you have incurred my wrath. You are officially getting the Ruksha curse.
Let's go.
Oh, and
the almighty, omnipotent
Kyle Monangai, you are going to get hurt. No. You're going to get butt hurt from getting wrecked. Micah Parsons is going to make you his bitch, but not before he has a cigarette break so he can fuck you over. Okay. I think we may have broken the record for the most.
Yeah.
But okay, moving on. We have a Monday night game, and it's apparently the Disney Monsters Inc. game, which I think it's cool and cute, but kind of ridiculous at this point. I just don't like. I mean, if you're trying to get kids more active in this game, you should be allowing NFL Masala to bring this over and have it put it in India.
There you go.
Have us talk about it. So Monday, Eagles versus the Los Angeles Chargers, and the Eagles are going away. So after getting romped on national television, had our bit of another mini bye, and there's a lot of things that this team needs to do. Now, I'm going to talk about the offensive side because we've talked about God knows how much, like this
Mhm.
Eagles team. You have all the God-given talent, but you could not do shit. So, against this Chargers defense, you got to help me out on this one. If I am the Eagles, you need to start with consistency at the beginning. Go ahead.
Breaking the Makadar news. Unfortunately, sad bit of news. The Packers have released wide receiver Malik Heath. No.
Sorry, man.
So long, Malik Heath. We will always appreciate you and love you for the performances that you've given for us in the playoffs.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci. And
Au revoir.
the next team is going to get a legitimate ball player. Please go to the Bills. Josh Allen will love you. Please go to the Bills. That's all I have to say. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. Apparently we actually have more breaking the Makadar news. This is from the Eagles. How much more can you do this to me? And apparently, for this upcoming game, according to Tim McManus, Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni has been more involved in the offensive preparations leading up to the matchup, and he's been more vocal in offensive meetings alongside with Kel Patullo. And I mean, like offensive concerns, like so. If you look at it, last year they were averaging 27.2 points per game. This year, 22.5. They also own the NFL's number 22nd rushing attack after last year being number 2. They struggled of late. Now they've been putting 15.5 points per game over the last 4 weeks. They've gone 2-2 over that span. So I mean, I get it, but I don't know. With that being said, there are a couple of I'm going to talk about the Eagles offense. Number one, you got to run the fucking ball. I don't care what it is. You run the ball. The Chargers love to go more in a base 3-4 defense, but they tend to line up. I found this out just now. They tend to line up a little bit more run defense on nickel packages. That is something that the Eagles can exploit. And you know what I'm thinking? You run like when the Eagles were able to score against the Bears. One thing I noticed, they were able to run up tempo, like run the ball quickly right after a play is being made, and they get positive yards. And Jalen Hurts' ability to run, especially when you're going empty back sets, meaning you have you're motioning a running back to go outside. And Saquon Barkley, when you have open lanes, isn't it too hard to ask? Open lanes. This is where I think you need to activate Miles Hinton or Willie Lankin off of IRs, because I mean, if you look at the Chargers' defensive stats, their front seven: Deshaun Hand, Taysar Tate, Justin Eboigbe, Tuli Tuipulotu, Dylan Henry, Denzel Perryman, and Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack, Perryman, and Tuli Tuipulotu. Those 3 linebackers, they're well good enough. And I think but their corners, like in Dante Jackson, Derwin James, Elijah Molden, Cam Hart, and RJ Mickens, I think they're okay. And also Benjamin St. Juste. I think he may get the start over because of this length. And I honestly think with this team, you have to play ball control, death by 1,000 cuts. You don't need to approach the home run ball. You have all the talent, but you don't need to go home run. I'd say chunk after chunk after chunk. Use Tank Bigsby more. I would love it if you go 2 backs, Saquon and Tank, fake a handoff, have it in pistol formation. It worked well in the past when Philadelphia had like Deuce Staley, Brian Westbrook. Then you had a power back like Carell Buckhalter. That's what worked in the past. Why not try it this time? And another thing is like play action. Use more of that because LA, they're very susceptible in the deep vertical threats. They are like their corners are good, but AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, when they are targeted, when they eat, you cannot stop them. And AJ Brown, yes, he's been getting 100+ yards. Jalen Hurts targeting AJ Brown more, but you also need to put Devontae Smith. You have to learn how to balance it. I know everyone wants to eat, but you have to balance and do what it takes to win games. If it means faking the run, faking the pass, and running it, and you're getting the first down, so be it. But everyone has to block. And of course, red zone efficiency. Eagles apparently are one of the best red zone touchdown conversion rates, 75.86. Like, and when you're able to capitalize scoring opportunities, touchdowns win you games, not field goals. And if there is a matchup I would love to think it is the Cam Hart or Derwin James, Cam Hart or Dante Jackson against AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. I think this will be a big AJ Brown game because he has a vertical threat. And I know some people saying he's been banged up, but he's not playing through. I think this is a game where he could shut up a lot of people and where he can make that big hustle play. And I would also target more on Devontae Smith because giving him 4 or 5 targets is criminal. He is one of the best yak catches. He's the Slim Reaper, for crying out loud. And I would not only think this could also be a good Dallas Goedert game, but look at target more on Jahan Dotson. Whenever he gets that deep ball, he is very good. And if I wanted to talk about a bit of a stat, like total defense allowed, Chargers, they have allowed like 345.8 total yards per game. And they have only, and the turnover differential, -1. But like there are a really good defense. If there are 2 players that got to watch out on defense, is that Tuipulotu. He's led the team in 10 sacks and 51 tackles. I would keep an eye out on that. And another thing I would also like to do. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to understand one more thing. No, I get the positive. I get like the positive bunny and all that stuff, but come on, you don't need to. You got to play hard physical. You cannot let them bully you. You have to go balls to the walls on this one. And anything else you would like to add on this one to help us out?
I think you need to pick an identity from the offensive standpoint. I think it has to be, play action football with outside zone runs. Don't rely on your offensive line because it is injured. So rely on your other star players to generate success. Keep it simple.
Yeah. And I also think, like, remember, like, the Chargers run defense, they are 23rd in defensive EPA per rush and 27th defensive rushing success per rate. It's, again, Jesse Minter likes to have 2 high safety shells. So when you're looking at 2 high safety shells, you can clarify on this one. You're having 2 safeties right there on top. They're just playing, basically it's like a cover 2. 2 safeties covering one zone and one zone. And then sometimes you have defensive backs. And not only 2 high safety shells, he also like to go sub packages. You can have defensive backs on the field in place of interior defensive line and inside linebackers. So there'll be times in which they'll have like all corners like crowded near the line of scrimmage. They'll try and press man, and they'll try and go for a blitz or just see if they can catch them out of surprise. That means fewer players inside the box. And when that happens, offenses are able to move the ball. And when they're nickel packages, meaning 5 defensive backs, they're 26 in NFL defensive EPA per rush. They have put, but the thing is, like, apparently when the Chargers are in base defense, they're good at stopping the run, but in nickel, they are bad. So I honestly think if the Eagles are able to get the run game early and going, like just draw them off, and when they have to revert to that base defense where they're loading the box, you immediately go for that pass play. You have to find a way to fool this defense. And I think, and hell, there's one funny idea Jimmy Kempski just put on the Philly Voice. Jimmy Kempski of Philly Voice and Bleeding Green Nation. He said this, and I quote, "I fully expect the Eagles to invite more base defense and more Chargers defenders in the box by playing Grant Calcaterra 20-plus snaps for no good reason." I don't believe them, but they are one of the best passing defenses. And I think, and like their defense, they've had 8 intercept. I mean, they're 8 intercept. They're 8th with interceptions, 11 total interceptions, allowing an opposing passer rating of 78%. 20 plus. They're only allowing 24 passes of 20 plus yards, 34 sacks. This Chargers defense is good. Do not get me wrong, but there's a way to beat this team. There's like how this Eagles defense was exposed last week. I think this Chargers team, anyone can be exposed. And I honestly think this could be a Tank Bigsby game, like where they go full heavy and he has like 100+ yard game. Then I hopefully so. And now on to the very painful part, that is defense. You cannot allow the Chargers active of Marion Hampton to pair up with Kamani Widell, and plus Justin Herbert's going to be playing with a bad left hand, most likely. You have to find a way to stop the run. Jalen Carter is going to be out for this game. That means I would rather activate Ty Robinson, aka the Vanilla Gorilla. That's what he's called. He was a really good run stopper and a good good tackle in Wisconsin or Nebraska, I think. And you have to win on the early first and second downs. And I think with the excuse me, but not only that, like the Chargers running back number 2, Najee Harris, he went out with an Achilles. So Kamani Vidal in 9 games with 7 starts, 121 carries for 543 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's averaging 4.5 yards per carry, 5.58, 215 bowling pound. I think you see a lot more snaps with Moro Ojomo and Jordan Davis. You need to put in Ty Robinson and more Byron Young, who's been playing okay. Linebackers, I like the Jalen Phillips and Jalix Hunt. Keep at it is, but I'm going to say this up front. I want to see more Jahad Campbell. I want to pair him up in the linebacker spot. I don't care if Nakobe Dean gets less snaps. You need to put Jahad Campbell more. Let the young guy play, and if he makes mistakes, so be it. He gets more opportunities to learn. And if he's able to force plays, you still fucking keep him. I get that Nakobe Dean is a great run stopper, and he's a good captain, but you got to let the young guy play in as well. And maybe you go 3 linebacker sets. Bond, Dean, and Campbell. If that's the case, so be it. But you cannot give Jack Campbell 0 snaps like you did last game. And another thing is, here's a big thing. Justin Herbert is not only hurt, I don't wish it for anyone, but guess what? The Chargers, their right 2 tackles are basically out. They have Jamari Slayer and Trey Pipkins. And if you think about it, earlier they had Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt. And Mekhi Becton, former Eagle, Becton has been playing in and out, and he's apparently not feeling too happy about this Chargers offense for some odd reason. Everyone that's our ex-Eagles are like colluding to get back in. I don't want. I mean, right now, Chargers replaced Joe Alt with Jamari Slayer. Week 10, Chargers started Austin DeCollis at left tackle. It didn't age well, so they tried to pair up with Trevor Penning. They made for that deal. Penning stunk, so they're going back with Jamari Slayer. And when I said Jamari Slayer, Zion Johnson, Bradley Bozeman, Mekhi Becton, and Trey Pipkins. So knowing with Joe Alt, like here's a passing offer for the Chargers. Without their 2 tackles, week 6 or 9 with Alt, 9th in EPA per dropback. Week 7 to 13 with no Alt, guess where they are? 28th in EPA per dropback.
Jeez.
And apparently, Mekhi Becton's not played well, and he was benched in the second half against the Jags last week, in week 11. PFF, Bozeman was ranked 37 out of 37, but take it with a grain of salt. Coming from PFF. And, I mean, even if Jalen Carter being out, you got to get to Justin Herbert. If you're able to get to Justin Herbert, you're able to control this passing up. You're able to keep them up, and you're able to keep Jalen Hurts on the field, and you keep this defense rested. And with that, all of this, like, again, when you stop the run, you're able to do a lot more things. And not only that, the Chargers have very good wide receivers. 4 of them. Keenan Allen, Aronde Gadsden, Quentin Johnston, and Vlad McConkey. I say Vlad McConkey is wide receiver 1. Keenan Allen, number 2. Here's what I'm thinking. Number 1, Keenan Allen, he's going to be in Quinyon Bay. Quinyon Mitchell has that side covered. But the biggest matchup I want to see is the Eagles, how they pair up how they match up against Vlad McConkey. It's going to be Vlad McConkey versus Cooper DeJean. I love Coop DeJean, but it's going to be tough. Because I'm thinking last year when he went up against a lengthier guy like Adam Thielen went to town on him in that Panthers game. I think Vlad McConkey may have that ability unless the Eagles try and double cover him. They put in a safety to help out. Like, they put the exciting whites by Cooper DeJean, and then you have Reed Blankenship follow. I do not trust Sidney Brown. I think they'll add Marcus Epps. And also, I think and I think this is where the Eagles have to hit home on the pass rush. No question about it. And I think with Cooper, and I think you need, and you can, and when I'm thinking about containing, you cannot play zone. You have to play tight man coverage, and maybe you bring in a safety help. Maybe you stick with cover 2. And Vic Fangio, I'm going to say this, maybe 4-man, 5-man rushes are okay, but bring the blitz. Bring in a blitz. It will help. And because I don't know I don't know about Adoree Jackson, but I don't know if I can trust him on this one.
Okay. So what is your end score prediction?
My score prediction, I think I could also see the Chargers winning this game, and the Eagles cannot get that consistency shit, but I'm an optimist. 20-17 Eagles.
Okay. Alrighty, we shall see what happens. And now on to the Masala games of the week. We'll keep it very brief. I am going to be interested in watching the Buffalo Bills take on the Cincinnati Bengals, because you have 2 of the worst run defenses in the league. In terms of the Bengals, they were, I think, 32nd, and the Bills are 29th. So yeah, they absolutely suck. Actually, it's even worse. 31st by the Bengals and 30th by the Buffalo Bills. So we're going to see a run fest here. I think it's going to be another game where James Cook has more rushing yards than Josh Allen has passing yards. I would expect even Josh Allen to, run it in a couple of times as well, have maybe 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns. James Cook with 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns. And I think this is going to be a high-scoring affair because the Buffalo Bills defense also sucks. They are injured a little bit, but Chase Brown has been pretty effective as a running back, and in terms of rushing success, I think they're top 5 in the league. Sorry, go ahead.
Can I say this? We have a score update for the SEC championship game. Georgia's up 14-0 in the second quarter, about to be halftime.
Wow.
14-0. But then again, it's Alabama, Georgia. So I'm keeping my eyes up on that. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so in this game, I think it's going to be interesting because while the Bills do have pathetic run defense, their pass defense is actually pretty good. So I would expect a big game from James Cook and Chase Brown. And I would expect this to be like a 31-28 type of game from Buffalo. I think they just edge out because the Bengals defense overall is worse than Buffalo. And I think Buffalo can keep Joe Burrow quiet for a little bit. Just to keep it, slightly competitive in their favor. But if the Bengals defense was any better, I would pick the Bengals any day of the week because this Buffalo offense has been kind of inconsistent, honestly. Besides having the second best rushing attack, when you look at passing wise, yes, they're fourth. But when you look at success rate, they're ninth. So technically they are kind of explosive, but they're not as consistent as we would have expected. And you also see some of the games against the Dolphins where they were struggling for some parts to actually get a consistent offense. So I think at the end of the day, I think the Buffalo Bills still win, but I don't think it's a blowout. I think it's a shootout, and I think they win 31-28.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
That's it.
My game, hear me out. Texans versus Chiefs.
Oh, this is do or die for the Chiefs at this point.
Oh, man. I think we're going to see a bloodbath.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams are going to fight for it. I'm surprised the Texans were able to crawl up.
Yeah.
Credit to them. The Chiefs being at 666. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm thinking this is a game in which I think for the Texans, if they want to win this game, CJ Stroud gotta run more mobile. They gotta go a little bit use Stroud's leg and have him not only extend the plays but like able to rush. Kansas City's defense has been ass lately, and you're catching them at a bad time. Why not do it? And also ball security. And I think for the Texans, what they may have a little bit going up ahead, if they go for passing, I mean, their passing yard and their rushing is like they have to do enough to win, but their defense, if they can still lock on like what they, I mean, if the Texans defense can still continue to play the way that they have done, like the last couple of games, especially with the likes of Will Anderson Jr. Oh my goodness, how am I forgetting names already? Like if I had someone whom I wanted to keep an eye out for the Texans, Derek Stingley Jr. and Will Anderson. Those are going to be my two impact players. And I think with Will Anderson, if DeMeco Ryans is able to contain Pat Mahomes in the pocket and somehow find a way to seal off Travis Kelce, I think they have this game under wraps. Xavier Ward, he could do so much, but I trust the corner. I'm saying trust very much. Trust in Jalen Petrie. Kamari Lasser, a little bit injured, but looks like it's going to be Amir Speed or Miles Bryant. Jalen Mills, Kalen Bullock, and Derek Stingley Jr. Derek Stingley Jr. top 10 corner, I think. I'm not sure what his current ranking is. Check on that for me. But yeah, I think if I'm the Texans, you not only control the ball, not only have to play ball control, like run the ball when you need to. Like I know Woody Marks, Nick Chubb, and Darren Agumbawale and British Brooks have been like bad, but move around, use more of Nico Collins and Xavier Hutchinson. And I say this could be a Dalton Schultz game. Use more tight ends. If you're able to use your tight ends, that's good because somehow Kansas City their defense has not even been able to stop tight ends. If you look at how Jake Ferguson exploded that game, look what I mean. right now, this team can be beat. And yes, the Chiefs are saying, give us this game and keep doubting us because that's where we play the best. And I would not sleep on Kansas City still. They have and for the Chiefs, they have to play aggressive. They got to use more play action in order to stop the man coverage that Houston likes to pull out. And the Texas defense, the deep vertical shots, I think this could be a Xavier-worthy game. And they have to force the turnovers on CJ Stroud. And if there's one person I'm looking at, Chris Jones, get your ass back. Get your ass in shape. Go after. George Karlaftis, Derek Nandi. And I think Steve Spags has to coach a game of his life in this game. I don't care. But the fact that your defense has been getting gassed up, I don't even know if you make it to the playoffs. And last but not and a couple of things, you got to establish your run. Use more Pacheco. If you want to stop the Texans like pass rush, run the ball with Pacheco and Kareem Hunt and minimize your penalties. The three things that can kill offensive drives: turnovers, penalties, and sacks. All teams should know this by now. But I don't know. I don't know if I should predict this because I feel that I will be jinxing it. So I'm going to say Team A will win 20. I don't want to pick.
I know.
I don't want to pick, but it's being played at Arrowhead.
Pick the Chiefs, and then the Texans will win.
Okay, you know what? I picked the Chiefs to win this game 17-24.
Okay.
It's the Chiefs.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, that is it for us today. A very eventful episode. If you guys have enjoyed, please leave us a review at one of the 4 podcast platforms that we host our podcasts on: Apple, Google, Spotify, Pocket Casts, or Rakshak.
You can also find us on YouTube, so make sure you like, share, subscribe, and click on the bell icon for notifications. They're also on social media. Check us out on our following social media platforms: Twitter/X, Instagram, and Threads. Yes, folks, we are on Threads. Maybe Blue Sky later, but we're on Threads. So bear with us. We at the following username, all lowercase, at NFL Masala 2022. That is at NFL Masala 2022.
And we'll hit you guys with our intro, outro. Go Pack, go!
And fly, Eagles, fly, and also Raider power! Raider power! Thank you for all, and have a good night. Arrivederci.